on silent mode and raise your hand and upon my cue, please. Yes, Kushal.
Shot or the 13 overs between Hardik and Ravindra Jadeja that cost 104 runs? Like, what, according to you, turned the match?
I think Sri Lanka played well.
Thank you.
That factor is also present. We're playing against a team, we're not playing amongst ourselves.
Thank you. Sir.
Does a huge outfield like this make a difference?
See, again, I personally thought that we had enough on the board halfway, during the break. And then I think our bowlers also bowled decently well. I mean, if batsmen come out and play like that and everyone plays well, then you have to give credit to the opposition as well. We're not invincible, we're playing against other sides who are also champion sides. And I've mentioned this before, it's Champions Trophy. You've got top 8 teams in the world. There's no guarantees that someone can't beat the other. And exactly what I said before the game. It doesn't mean that we necessarily, yes, when you lose games of cricket, you will find negatives, throughout the game. I think batting did really well. We obviously have to consolidate and then explode in the end, and that's the way we always play. We're not a side that always plays explosive cricket throughout the 50 overs. But if a side comes out and plays fearless cricket, with that kind of mindset and executes their shots so well, then you have to take your hat off sometimes and say, very well played.
Virat, 2 days in a row, lower ranked teams have won. Pakistan beat South Africa. Now Lanka has beaten. So this seems to have opened the tournament a bit because the race is now very clear. It's now knockouts.
It's become very exciting. I mean, virtually every game is a quarter-final now. In our group especially, all teams are on 2 points. And you have to win your next game to go through, which is, I think, an exciting position to be in for all the teams. And for everyone involved in the tournament and the fans as well. I think it's a great scenario where you literally have 2 quarterfinals now, which is going to be even more competitive cricket. So we are pretty clear about the whole situation, and yeah, it certainly opened up the whole table for sure.
Virat, you said that obviously Sri Lanka playing well was a factor, and yes, but when you have just the one spinner and he's taken for runs with four fast bowlers, does that become a bit unidimensional? You don't have somebody else to come in, rely on and do a job, maybe just control the runs with the only 4 fielders outside the circle in the middle overs?
See, you always see the hindsight when you lose games of cricket. You trust your bowlers to control runs and hit good lengths and have your covers and mid-wicket up, which generally we wanted to do in this game. We did that in the last game as well, and sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. That doesn't mean you think of what if we had done something different. You back aside and then you go with it. When things don't go well, obviously you address those things, but you expect them to execute those things, which as batsmen we can't score every time. As bowlers, you can't literally bowl consistent line and lengths, in every game that you play. So some guys will have off days, and then, on outfields like these and, pitches like these, you will have sides who will bat well. It's, as I said, in one-day cricket, no one is guaranteed a win, and you can play with 5 spinners or you can play with 5 fast bowlers. You have to bowl well in any case. So that's how I see it.
Thank you, sir. Last 5, Nagaraj.
Virat, you said that India are not invincible, but there are always lessons you can take from defeats like these. 2 areas, if you can talk about, in the bracket between 25 and 40 overs, India made about 80 runs, and the lack of swing, which is, I guess, a difficult thing for bowlers on these kind of wickets. How do you address this going forward?
See, we didn't have any swing in Birmingham either, and I think we bowled pretty well. So that factor, I don't think. I thought, as I said, I thought we had enough, midway. But the good thing that they did was they did not lose wickets, and they kept rotating strike, which we as a team have done so many times. So sometimes teams are going to come up and do that against you, and sometimes you literally can't do anything in the game. You try to find ways to get people out, but it does not happen. And if you have a couple of guys having off days in between, you can't go in with 8 bowling options. You literally have 5 or 6 with the part-timer. In any case, if you play 2 spinners or you play 4 seamers. So if two guys are not able to execute their lines and lengths, it does become difficult. Me and Kedar, chipped in with our overs, and the game pulled back at that stage. But then again, everyone came out and played positive cricket from their team. When we got those 2 run-outs, we thought we can get a couple of wickets now, But again, those guys came in and played their shots, and it came off well. From the batting point of view, as I said, I thought we paced it well. I thought we had enough on the board. In hindsight, when you look back, maybe you'll think of phases that we could have accelerated, but I don't see that as a major issue. Maybe we will have to push harder now in the next few games to give us a 20-run cushion. Maybe after seeing a result like this, because we're playing on the same ground as well.
Virat, only just 10-15 minutes into the game, so you need time to collect your thoughts. But will you think that is there a situation that where overhaul needs for the must-win game, or we will go with the tested ones?
We'll have to sit down and think of how we match up against the opposition that we're playing against. And as I said, all options are open. We had certain things in mind which came off well once, it didn't come off well today. There'll be a lot of things discussed, what went wrong and what combinations we can come out within the next game. And if we want to bring in a bit more balance into the bowling attack by changing it up a little bit, that'll be up for discussion as well. So there are all kinds of possibilities when you have a big squad, and you can choose players who are quality players as well. So definitely we'll have discussions on that.
Thank you, sir. Last couple of questions. Varun,
Virat, 2 questions. Number 1 is that in the past also your team has come through fire, starting from a Galle Test match to several other instances. How do you feel at this stage that you have to again back against the wall and be fighting and do or die match? And number 2, did you consider Yuvraj today as a bowling option at any stage?
If the team is 4 or 5 down and you have to get few overs out of the way from the part-timer, then UV can be used. But at that stage I did not think, because Jadeja was also going for runs and it was difficult to bowl with the breeze going that side to the shorter boundary, and if Jadeja is finding it difficult, then obviously UV would have found it a bit more difficult as well. So I thought, I spoke to MS as well, and we both thought that Kedar was a better bet at that time. And then because in England generally if you bowl little seamers, then you can trouble the batsman. So I thought why not try a few overs there as well. So I think we covered up pretty well. Where the wicket is a bit more dry, then obviously UV comes into contention and I don't. So from that point of view, I think it was depending on the kind of situation we had in the game and what was going on the pitch. The spinners were finding it difficult, when we were bowling anyway. So I don't think that would have been a wise decision at that stage. Well, as I said, it's pretty clear. It's like a quarter-final. It's against a very high-quality side, and we have to go out there and play good cricket. If we had won this game, we still would have gone with the same mindset of winning the third one as well. So there's no room for complacency in a tournament like this, and we as a team certainly don't feel that even if we had 4 points on the board right now, we still would have gone out there to try and beat South Africa, and that's exactly the mindset we are going to take into the next game.
last one.
Virat, when as a captain you yourself feel that you had enough runs on the board and the team chases it down like that, especially, what do you tell the bowling attack? Is it possible to ask them to just forget it and move on, or because also most of your bowlers back home or overall have depended a lot on late swing as well, with the old ball, which you're not getting here. So what do you tell the bowling attack when after defeat like that?
Well, nothing. It's like a batting collapse. When you collapse as a batting unit, you don't sit down and think of your life's over. You just move on and say it's a bad day, forget about it. That's what I mean. In a test match, you have a lot to think about because the game goes on for 5 days. But I think in shorter format cricket, you have to forget it and move on, because we're playing in 3 days' time again, and we have to be fresh as a team. We have to get back into that same mindset and come out and try to do the same things again. If a team, as I said, if a team plays well, you have to take your hat off. If people's perception, we can't sit here and think of what people are perceiving us to be, or what people had expected of us as a team. We just want to play good cricket, and if that's not fulfilled, for us, it does not change the situation of the team. You know, we still go in with the same mindset in the next game as well, and we try to win every game that we play, and that's why you play international cricket.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.